slip, ha, slip, ha, hey, hey, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Ha! Sensei Kwabin here. Moment with the Master. Coming to you live, family. Coming to you live and supercharged. Everything supercharged, family. Everything is supercharged. You know, we got the sunlight behind us. The earth is supercharged in a way, right? We look for supersized things. We look for cars that are supercharged, that have that element of grandiosity about them. Careers, we like supercharged careers. We want to be known for being in a place of having prestige and honor in our professional careers and what we do on a daily basis, what we dedicate ourselves to, right? Finances, we want big money, big stacks, bills like the telephone bills, right? They put it in the hand, a stack, and it's like I'm talking on the phone. Call me on my cell phone of stacked bills. That's what we want. We want partners who are supercharged. We want the top dog. We want the top lady. We want the person that will bring us the most regard and respect and admiration. Supercharged. We want everything supercharged. But what we see about that stuff, what we see about the things, what we see about the externalities, we'll call them, is they are just that. They exist outside of us. Yes, they're externalities. They exist outside of us. But we ask the question at the moment with the Master in that we ask, what about what can be born from us? Externalities, yeah, they matter. They have an allure. They have an appeal. But what about what can be born in us? What about motivation? Internality. What about intention? Internality. What about vision? Internality. Action, born inside, expressed outside. Yes. And, of course, what about greatness? Internality. You know, what I call a hinge point, an important piece of information, right? As we discuss this, supercharging greatness. We discuss supercharging greatness, and one hinge point that we're going to see that comes up time and time again in this here conversation is that element of intent. Supercharging greatness, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unpack it, but that element, I want you to pay particular attention to that element of intent, right? And what I'm going to give you here now in regards to intent, I'm going to call it a gold chip regarding intent. When we are focusing and when we are generating, when we are fashioning our intent, we are talking about developing impact, intent and impact, hand in hand, merge, like hand and fist, intent and impact. Remember, we talked about that three-pronged cord, visualization, intent, and impact. And so when we're talking about intent, what we're really saying is, hey, I want to have a certain type of impact. I want my outcomes to look this way. I want the ultimate end to be that. When I do a kata, I've practiced so that I have a certain impact in my execution. And so the gold chip for intent is this. Set an impact statement. Set an impact statement. In other words, here is the impact I want to have. Here is the ultimate outcome I want to have. Yes, we're talking about supercharging greatness, but setting an impact statement, and then from an impact statement or multiple impact statements that are born out of our vision, that are born out of the core, the hara of our intention, right? The internal focus and force of our intention, what's born out of that, apply deep visualization to it. Deep visualization to it. Impact, intent, visualization. We're still talking about supercharging greatness. We're just getting into it. Impact, intent, visualization. Because what happens is we start to sow seeds and fertilize the seeds of our intention right, that are born out of our awareness with the fertilization of deep visualization. Deeply visualizing, looking forward to. We're getting to supercharging your greatness. Okay? We know this. Let's pivot. Everything in the world, anything that you think of that has energy needs an energy source. Yes? Energy source, battery source, electrical source, power source, natural energy source, wind, solar. It needs a source. Somehow it needs to get that energy and energize. And without it, the need for energy is huge, but without it, we have what we call immobilization. Can't move, can't power up, can't get charged, right? Can't operate, right? In the case of a dead battery, can't operate. Dead battery in the car, can't operate. No energy in the career, can't operate. Low energy in other areas of life, wherever it may be, relationally, can't operate. You gotta fuse it with some energy that's gonna carry it forward so that it can do what it was designed to do. Everything runs on batteries. We got our personal care, relationship care, career care, financial care. Everything runs on batteries. Energy is big. But what is greatness energy? Is it that energy that we talked about in our greatness series, that game changer energy, that energy that says, I will do what it takes to see the end I want? Is that just the greatness, supercharging greatness energy that we're talking about? I just want to put myself in position to carry forward and get to the end that I envision. But there's more. It's part of that, but there's more. Energy is big. Greatness energy, let me say this. Greatness energy, we classify it as the I am energy. Hey, watch it, careful, right? The I am, we know the I am, the phrase the I am, the concept the I am. We call greatness energy the I am energy. Let me explain. Okay? The greatness I am energy, it starts off, and I said we'll get back to it, starts with the I and I am, which is intention, setting our intention. Setting our intention, and then the A is our action. You know, when we marry intention with action, big things happen. Nothing is executed ever without marrying the two aspects of intention and action. And if we can evaluate, review, and set and become aware of and be closely in tune with our intent, then our action follows that intent. Yes? But then the third part of that triad is manifestation. Yes, manifestation. I said set an impact statement and deep visualization, right? Marry those two. And when you do that, you get something that translates into manifestation. You get something that translates into a materializing of what we have in our minds and our hearts. Our intents come to life. Our intents fuse our action, and our intent and action married with the deep visualization that brings us into a place of manifesting what we see. We're talking about supercharging greatness, right? It manifests in what we have envisioned. It manifests in what we have determined is going to be the way forward for us to move, the way forward for us to operate, the way forward for us to reach that line and that plane that we will realize the things that we are building. Manifestation. Manifestation by itself is not enough, right? We see people talking manifestation all the time. Not enough. Manifestation energy. Not enough. Yes, vision, clarity, purpose, willingness, right? Availability, assignment. These things have to line up. And when alignment comes, that assignment comes, then the manifestation, what we call future casting, can happen. The future casting can move us into greatness. When these things line up, they're all part of a core, they're all part of a series, they're all part of a whirlwind of activity, a whirlwind of behavior that fuses together for us to see the greatness energy materialize in our lives. But we're supercharging greatness, right? So let me give you this. 5 hallmarks of supercharged greatness. 5 hallmarks of supercharged greatness. Okay? Number 1, the law of attraction. What do we have? The law of attraction has to operate in supercharged greatness. The law of attraction has to tell us that it will matter exactly how we are aligning, how we are positioning, where we stand, how we are coupled, how we are connected, and what we are doing that is going to determine what comes our way. We can't put ourselves on a dead-end street and expect that we're going to see traffic in and out. The law of attraction. The law of attraction, it draws in its own work, right? The law of attraction says that alignment will happen, that your assignment will come to you because you have done something. You have positioned yourself to show up in a way that the assignment shows up in alignment with where you are. The law of attraction. Remember, availability, assignment, alignment. It comes. The law of attraction. Number 2, focused attention. Supercharging greatness. Law of attraction first, then 2, focused attention. Focused attention on outcomes. We focus our attention on outcomes. Now, are we set? Do we have to have a crystal clear, definite set pattern of the mode and how we get to the outcome? No. Here it is. What's going to happen? There's going to come distractions. There's going to come fields of error. They're going to become things that become stepping stones or stumbling blocks. But we are flexible in our mode. We're flexible in our mode, but our focus attention, we focus in on the outcomes. Here's a caveat. Try having a specific field of focus, a specific plan of focus. Okay? A specific partner of focus. And when doing that, if you stay aligned with the focused intent that you have developed, then that will supercharge the greatness, because what will happen is you'll get traction and mobility and continuity in whatever it is that's being pursued. Number 3, control desire. Yes. Control desire. What do we desire? Do we want to look good or be good? Do we want to make a statement with what we do, or do we want to have an impact? What's going to happen is it's going to be fused, and it's going to be fueled by how we control our desire, how we control our ability to stay on course, how we control what we are generating in terms of our motivation, control desire. So our motivation will fuel those actions. Our motivation will fuel how we are consistent, how we are persistent in moving in the way in the field of greatness. Number 4, having a best direction. Right? What we say on the road, we tell people, don't drive sideways. Yes, change lanes, you need to, okay? But for the best direction, don't drive sideways. You can't drive looking out your side view mirror. You need a best direction. What course am I going to take that's going to allow me to line up with the greatness that I envision? What's my course? What's my plan of action? How am I going to get there? What am I going to do? What's my best direction? Supercharging greatness. The level of clarity that the best direction brings gives us the force field that we need to carry forward in a plan of greatness. Best direction. Aim properly, right? We have a bow and arrow. Aim properly. Best direction. Best direction. Hit that center target. Practice. In martial arts, we practice. Best direction. Right? Technique is important. Best direction. Number 5 is our global positioning. How are we positioning ourselves for the next move? How are we positioning ourselves? Are we aware of where we are standing or where we are aligned in terms of where we ought to be? Is our global positioning system on? Can we tell if we need to reorient, turn 20 degrees east? Do I need to reevaluate my plan of action and make some tweaks here or there? Yes, stay on the plan, but do I need to reevaluate and look and say, hey, you know what? I need to step this way a little bit to the side, move up here, and then I'm in place. I'm in a better place to do whatever I'm envisioning the intent action and manifestation is going to carry out of me. It's going to see born in me. That's number 5, that global positioning. Have a greatness plan. Always have a greatness plan. And part of global positioning, we have reflective action. I'm closing it out, family. Reflective action says, you know what? I went this far. And here has been the experience. Here has been the project experience. And now I'm looking, I'm like, I need to have reflective action. I need to reflect on what worked, what didn't work. What I can carry forward and what I need to leave right there. Reflective action. That's part of that global positioning system. These are the 5 elements, the 5 hallmarks of supercharging greatness. Remember, we have the law of attraction, focused attention, controlled desire, best direction, and global positioning. That's it right there. So family, you want to supercharge your greatness. You want to stand up and plant yourself in a place where you're going to move forward with positivity and progress. Focused action, focused attention, controlled desire, law of attraction. Use it, incorporate, attach to it. And I pray that you will find the results. I know you will find the results that you look for in your plan of greatness. Keep the music of your greatness strong and the magic of your greatness alive. And don't ever let people plant seeds of doubt in your garden of greatness. This has been Sensei Kwabin with Moment with the Master number 21. Hope you enjoyed it. As you already know, we're going to be back here next week. But right now, I'm out of here. Whoosh!